Good morning on this lovely hot week. Well, we sure can't complain that we're cold. But anyway, we're still going to continue on with Mark's Gospel. And I'm going to read from Mark 5. And verse 25, it says, "And a woman was there who'd been subject to bleeding for 12 years. She'd suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and spent all she had. Yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak, because she thought, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. Immediately, her bleeding stopped, and she felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. At once, Jesus realized that power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, 'Who touched my clothes?' 'You see people crowding against you,' his disciple answered, 'and yet you can ask, "Who touched me?"' But Jesus kept looking around to see who had done it. Then the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell at his feet, and trembling with fear, told him the whole truth. He said to her, 'Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering.'" Verse 34, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." You know, Jesus' healings help to overturn the common notions and ideas about how God views sick people. During Jesus' lifetime, the Pharisees taught strictly that all suffering comes from sin. In other words, if you're sick, you deserve it. Pharisees, they judged a deranged or demon-possessed person as permanently cursed by God. They see God's hand of punishment in natural disasters, birth defects, and such long-term conditions such as blindness and paralysis. Following Old Testament law, they consider unclean those who suffer from diseases such as leprosy, and they exclude them from worship. Jesus boldly challenges such teaching. This chapter shows him curing a demon-possessed man, touching and healing an unclean woman, and resurrecting a child, even though touching a corpse under Jewish law made a person unclean. On other occasions, Jesus directly refutes the traditional doctrine of sin and suffering. He denies that a man's blindness comes from his own or his parents' sin, and he dismisses the common opinion that tragedies happen to those who deserve them. Jesus doesn't heal everyone on the earth, or even in his homeland, but his treatment of the sick and needy shows that they are especially loved, not cursed by God. His healings also provide a sign of what will happen in the future, when all diseases and even death will be destroyed. So whatever we go through, whether it's sickness, problems, difficulties, it's not cursed from God, but it's to show us that Jesus will see us through every situation, and that when God brings us through those situations, he will get the glory. And as it so happens throughout the Gospels and the Acts of the Apostles, many people came to know the Lord. Let us give thanks for a God who loves us, who understands us, and cares for us in every situation. God bless you. Have a great day. Don't get too burnt, otherwise you'll need healing as well. God bless you.